The 10th part is called Four Quickening Arms and shows the power of Krishna to set things right. As night falls, Krishna comes to Radha, whose anger has lessened. She has grown weaker from following her anger. On the surface of the story, he speaks words of affection for her to find love in her heart again. In actuality, he seduces her soul to drink from the wine of love, to let go of all restraints, and to give herself over completely to a drunken state of devotion. This love has no place for anything else but the beloved. And it is in this love that everything else actually is gathered. This part of the poem is dealing with mysticism. Krishna demonstrates his own drunken love for her by sharing his confession on how everything about her consumes his thoughts. His words link emotions with objects and situations, connecting imagery, simile, and allegory. What is hidden secretly in everything is what drives the mind to understand and the soul to connect. What is important is the way Krishna reacts to Radha's anger. He doesn't belittle her, or try to assert his authority, or try to demand her obedience. Instead, he pleads for her to speak what she feels, and he will listen. There is nothing to fear with Krishna. His compassion will dispel all uncertainty. If you speak, moonlight gleaming on your teeth dispels the dread darkness of fear. When the mind experiences emotional states, the personality changes also to match the emotion. A person experiencing anger will become an angry version of herself. The angry version of us is part of us, as is the one shaped by guilt, sadness, shame, desire, and time. There are all these versions of ourselves that we are made up of. The way to understand this is that existence is not one thing, but a plurality of things. It is like a cloud that contains raindrops and lightning, wetness and burning, darkness and light. This pluralism is caused by division and further division as part of the cosmic reality. In the same way that existence contains diverse beings of the same species, the soul can also contain multiple variations of personalities. The angry version of Radha is also loved by Krishna, because this version is still part of her. If you feel enraged at me, Radha, inflict arrow wounds with your sharp nails, bind me in your arms, bite me with your teeth, or do whatever excites your pleasure. In Hindu philosophy, the individual soul has three bodies. There is the gross body, or Sthula Sarira, which is the material body that has needs and performs actions. This is the body we immediately identify with because of our pain and pleasure. There is the astral, or subtle body, or Linga Sarira, which is the body of the mind, and is identifiable by our thoughts and our consciousness. This is what connects us to energy and to the vital life breath that animates our movement. And there is the causal body, or Karana Sarira, which is the emergence of our consciousness from causes and effects from our source within existence itself. This is the body that carries the effects of our actions and carries the past causes from our previous learned experience. There are three different dimensions of our existence, each with its own experiences, Pluralism, at the cosmic level, is one existence, divided into different parts. You are my ornament, my life, my jewel in the sea of existence. Be yielding to me forever, my heart fervently pleads. The beauty of existence shows the supremacy of power and energy, or Shakti, which is personified as Shri, the mother goddess and the companion and lover of Krishna. Existence transforms itself endlessly, being one thing only to become something else. From the beginning there is Srishti, meaning the casting out, which is the emanation of creation out from power and energy. It is in Shakti that we find our uniqueness and differences, and retain from her the beauty that is hers. All our possible states already exist in her, waiting to come out or to change. We all share in the beauty of existence, even if it is manifested in different shapes and beings that we can become. The beauty of the celestial nymphs, the Apsara, is the beauty that is in our own bodies and surroundings. Your eyes are lazy with wine, like Madalasa. Your face glows like the moonlight nymph, Indu Mati. Your gait pleases every creature, like Manorama. Your thighs are plantains in motion, like Rambha. Your passion is the mystic rite of Kalavati. Your brows form the sensual line of Chitralika, frail Radha. As you walk on earth, you bear the young beauty of heavenly nymphs. Krishna preserves all of existence. Anger is part of existence. Krishna is patient with angry individual souls, so they can be patient with their own minds and bodies. Krishna is the preserver. That is his relationship with existence. This maintenance, or Sthiti, is why he doesn't give up and move on to something else. He views each part of existence as precious, not as something that has no value, that can be easily discarded and replaced. Just as he interacts with the three qualities of existence to balance them out, he interacts with all the qualities and transformations an individual soul goes through in her life. Frail Radha, even with dark lotus pupils, your angry eyes are like scarlet lilies. As your arrows of love arouse emotion, my black form responds with red passion. Each thing exists in different states, and all of them are embedded as possibilities and the potential of the mind. The beauty of existence is in the beauty of its parts. The tiniest part contains beauty and can lead to the appreciation of the whole, as it can lead to the appreciation of the other parts. Fierce Radha, your eyes glower like gleaming dark lotuses. Your nose is a sesame flower. Your teeth are white jasmine. Love's flower arms conquer worlds by worshipping your face. The only way to accept that everything contains beauty, even anger, is to have a drunken love, where the mind is secondary in focus and the emotions are primary. In this state of drunken love, even pain is desired, because the mind can only make sense after something happens. Punish me, lovely fool. Bite me with your cruel teeth. Chain me with your creeper arms. Crush me with your hard breasts. Angry goddess, don't weaken with joy. This drunkenness of love leads to higher states of mystical being. At first, there is absorption. We absorb because we are attracted to something. We want that something to be part of us. There is the bliss that is like physical union, or Smarananda. There is the bliss of being absorbed into something bigger than ourselves, of being merged with another, to the point of being taken over by the Divine Himself, or Samavesha, the unification of consciousness with a supreme consciousness, or Samadhi. allows a person to see existence the way Krishna sees it. Then, when the mind catches up and tries to explain what happened, there is expulsion. There is a miniature creation of a universe coming from our mouths, as we try to speak coherent words to describe our experience. But our words make no sense to those who did not share in our experience. It appears as madness. This kind of Srishti, emanation, happens when the mystics try to speak, but appear to be saying nonsense. And this is why Krishna pleads with Radha to speak her feelings, to share what she is going through, because he understands this language of devotion. Your useless silence tortures me, frail Radha. Sing sweet lyrics in the mode of love. The mind is like the audience in a play. The emotions are the actors. The mind must observe with detachment, but the emotions must be cherished. Emotions must be spoken for. They must be shared, and they must be heard through confessions. We must go beyond the shame that keeps our emotions locked in us, which torture us. At dusk, she stared in shame at her friend's face as Hari stammered his blissful words. The mind must learn to withdraw attention from itself as the center of attention, as the center of existence. We must lose our sense of I am, and this is me, and this is mine, and see the world as this is existence. This withdrawal of attention from external objects, or Sankocha, leads to reenactment of the cosmic withdrawal, or Samhara. This is when creation will be reabsorbed into its source. The end will become the beginning again. Krishna reveals to her that he himself is consumed by a love without restraints for her, like a fire burning everything, without sense or reservation. Krishna pleads with Radha himself, begging her to relent on her pride. Radha, cherished love, abandon your baseless pride. Love's fire burns my heart. Bring wine in your lotus mouth. Our stories and emotions can inspire others to rediscover a desire for connection, as they can inspire our own selves to find the joy of being with ourselves, all of ourselves, and of reuniting with Krishna. Jayadeva's poem has the power to open up hearts to this love, as it did to his wife Padmavati, who was his most intimate audience. All hearts can be open to love, and in the joy that follows, love for the individual soul leads directly to love of the Supreme Being, and from the Supreme Being back to the individual souls. This graceful loving coaxing, Mura's foe spoke to Radhika, triumphs in the joy Jayadeva sings to delight his muse Padmavati. The beauty of existence, with all its precious parts, is the triumph of love. The love of beauty, the love of joy, and the love of the flourishing diversity of life is all love for Krishna. To experience love for those things is to love their creator and preserver. Let pearls quivering on full breasts move the depths of your heart. Let a girdle ringing on round hips proclaim the command of love.